Hey guys, your boy TheSecPaq, and we've got another reaction video today. Now this one here is one that I've been meaning to react to. A lot of you have been telling me to react to this, especially with the Lowski reaction I've been having. But we've got the sad story of Harlem Spartans. Now Kid Donor, I think it's Donor, I can't remember. I think this is his video. Big him up as well, because his thing's cold, man come on the introduction thing and on the documentary thing and them things there. But he got a nice flow to it, you know what I mean? He sounds like I'm chatting to a man then when I watch his thing. So I can't lie, his things are cold as well. I think we reacted to his War in Camden video a while ago between 51st and 71st, AG, Peck War, all them ones there. So if you haven't checked that reaction out, make sure you go on my channel and check that one out. That one was lit. But without further ado, we're going to check out the sad story of the Harlem Spartans. This one here, I can't lie, I think it's going to slap. So we're going to check this one out. Before we do, you lot are getting crazy. I can't even believe what's going on with the subs right now. But we're so close to 10k. Make sure you smash that red subscribe button, hit the post notification bell as well. I'm dropping so many videos for you lot. It's good times, it's exciting times. I know you lot like the fit as well. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? Man came on a professional thing, 9 to 5 right now. 9 to 5, I'm doing it proper. I'm doing it proper. Mummy can be proud in that. So yeah, other than that, make sure you like, comment, share. Follow my socials, Twitter, Insta, Snapchat in the description box and on my channel page. And drop any suggestions you want to check out down below in the comment section. Without further ado, it's a bit more serious now. I've got the sad story of the Harlem Spartans. Let's go.
We're exploring the rise and fall of South London drill group Harlem Spartans and what a lot of young people nowadays can take and learn from their rise and fall. But before I get into this video, follow me on Instagram for a chance to win a £100 Amazon gift card. Insta is on the screen now, so get following for the chance to win that. Let's get into the video. So Harlem Spartans is a gang located in the South London town of Kennington, and Harlem really put their area on the map with smash hits like Kennington Where It Started, which is now on 16 million views. And around these times in 2016 to 2017, they were really the biggest things out in drill, and were even one of the biggest pushers for UK drill to be played in the international.
This tune here, yeah, DJ Khaled scoring the ops like
they were really the biggest things out in drill, and were even one of the biggest pushers.
This
for
tune
UK
here, yeah, that DJ Khaled tune, Lowski, on my mum's. When I tell you that tune, yeah, to this day, it's on the playlist. That tune's a banger. That Mism, it was crazy. It was crazy. Show so long, like nah. That tune as well. That 156 one, I can't like that one's banging, but I can't respect that one. It's a bit mad. But fam, it's just crazy. That DJ Khaled tune, legend.
UK drill to be played in the international level, with rappers like Drake being heavy fans of the group, and they were even big influences for overseas drill groups to start making their music, like the popular Australian drill group 1-4. But behind all these numbers and recognition, real stuff was going on in the streets, and due to their come up being so fast and explosive, it was clear that the group hadn't adjusted yet to keeping the streets and their music separate, which resulted in the massive eventual downfall of their group. So before Harlem Spartans became a thing, the local gang in the Kennington area was called GOOOO, also known as Black Prince, who were a quite small and not really that recognised gang in South London, in times where South London was a complete war zone. This was during the infamous beef between the two neighbouring areas in South London called Brixton and Peckham, where Kennington was on Peckham's side against Brixton. Kennington didn't really have that much involvement in this feud, but in 2006 they did stab to death a 15-year-old Brixton gang member called Tiny Alien, right after he finished his year 11 GCSE exams.
Tiny Alien? Fam, like I know, man. Them, let's be real. You can make a name bang, especially if you're on crud and that. You're on it and that. You're warring, man. Them and that. And you're serious. People will respect your name. Man can have a name called like Tiny McDonald's and them things there. Like obviously it's a bit of a joke, but you know what I'm saying? Like when someone's on a mad thing, like the name gets rated. But Tiny Alien. Who's younger Alien than Alien, fam? Like I need to know who in the set's got that name. That's just crazy. But rest in peace, my guy. For real, that's not after GCSE exam. That's tragic. Year-old
Brixton gang member called Tiny Alien, right after he finished his year 11 GCSE exams. So the area Kennington where Harlem Spartans are from has historically always had a feud of Brixton gangs, and throughout the years, the area has picked up quite a few other enemies, like Peckham, who they were close allies with during their war against Brixton. But despite the area's smaller gang size, they have still managed to hold down all their beef. And then the younger generation of Kennington started to form, who we know now today as Harlem Spartans. Most members from Harlem went to a school called Tennyson's in Oval, South London, but this school also included a lot of kids from Brixton as well as Kennington, and obviously Kennington and Brixton Olders were beefing at the time, but this wasn't a concern for Harlem members during school. And during school, members of Harlem and kids from Brixton were actually friends, and quite a few Harlem members used to rep Brixton gangs during secondary school, like Miz and Mac, who used to rep the Brixton Gang 17, and Lowski, who used to rep the Brixton Gang 150. And even in a few songs, Harlem members and members from the opposing
Brixton 150. That's crazy. It's like dissing them 146. Man. That's
Brixton
crazy.
Gang 150. And even in a few songs, Harlem members and members from an opposing Brixton gang called 410 reference their friendships in their songs.
My siblings, he was my friend from years, boys from there, soon he a victim. But you know,
Mad.
But these friendships
Mad.
were before Harlem was really properly formed into a group. And after Harlem members left Tennessee,
yeah, them man are like, bro, they sound like they're 27 and that. Like, them man must be way older.
But these friendships were before Harlem was really properly formed into a group. And after Harlem members left Tennyson School and started to go to college, older members of the GOOOO gang, who were running Kenton at the time, started to take these younger Harlem members under their wing. We started off with Harlem members chilling on the Kenton blocks alongside the older GOOOO gang. And then eventually the younger started to trap off GOOOO members' lines and making money alongside them. And this is how a lot of gang affiliation starts, with older members bringing you in to chill around the gang, which will eventually result in you making money with the olders, probably trapping. And then eventually, after spending a lot of time with these guys, you will see them as family. And the next thing you know, you're throwing up gang signs and riding for these people. So while Harlem was starting to chill in Kenton more heavily with the older gang GOOOO, Brixton gangs who beefed GOOOO started to recognize the younger Harlem members to be wrapped up in this beef as well. And this was really the start of Harlem Spartans gang involvement. Originally, the gang came under two separate sets, one called Kenton Park and one called Younger GOOOO. But eventually, the lines got blurred between these two, and they just started to roll as Harlem Spartans. Then in 2014, the group started to record music at a local youth centre and started releasing some tracks in 2015 with early tunes like Re-Up, 3000 Savage and Shit Then, coming from the two Harlem rappers Blanco and Biz, as well as other rappers TG Million and Zico dropping solo tunes, and younger Harlem members like C-Rose dropping some exclusives. But C-Rose didn't allow himself to
They
grow in
done
music,
my guy dirty.
and younger Harlem members like C-Rose
Nah. If that's the only picture, fairs, but they got my guy dirty. How's everyone got pics like this and that looking cold and that, do you know what I mean? And then they got my man's mugshot, like, they done my guy dirty, bro. That's rude.
dropping some exclusives. But C-Rose didn't allow himself to grow in music properly, because in the same year of 2015, he was convicted of manslaughter and was sentenced to 16 years in prison. It was really when Harlem rapper Lowski jumped on the scene.
That's tough. 16. I was about to ask. I ain't ever seen him with the Harlems, like any videos, any tunes and nothing. Man got life. He really got lifed off. It's a manslaughter charge, but if you get 16 for a manslaughter, bro, like they've given you a max sentence on that. Like that judge, yeah, he went to sleep that night. Like fam, didn't even have to give him that, bro. Like I didn't even have to do that, but I wanted to do it, so why not? Do you know what I mean? Like 16 years on a manslaughter, bro. You just give him a murder charge. Like let him rep that. Just give him the murder charge because that's crazy. 16 years.
Manslaughter and was sentenced to 16 years in prison.
tragic.
It was really when Harlem rapper Lowski jumped on the scene that the gang really started to get some recognition. And the song that really took off was Lowski's song Hazards in June 2016, which was literally the song of the summer that year. You couldn't go anywhere in London without that song being played. And the reason why this song took off so much wasn't just because it sounded good. At the time, this was one of the most disrespectful drill tunes out, with a couple direct disses towards a Brixton gang called 150, when Lowski said,
violence no mess. They say 150, but it's 146. To defend them dead.
and this is in reference to the 4 150 members who had died at the time, which were Pistol, SQ, Gauze and Jay Munner. But one of his next lines was one of the most disrespectful lines in drill.
Oh.
Just also long, looking at Gora's coffin.
Gora was a respected member of the 150 gang who had died in 2015 after he borrowed money off another 150 member but refused to pay it back. So the other 150 member just shot and killed him. Now after Lowski just mocked Gora, 150 members weren't happy about this obviously, and the 150 rapper called Sticks shortly after posted a video of himself on Harlem's block. Also in some leaked Twitter messages between the same members, Sticks and somebody else, you can see Sticks says they're mashing work on the field youths, which basically means that Harlem were putting some real pressure on them on the streets. And the field youths that Sticks was referring to was another gang called 410 in Brixton, who were allied with the 150 gang and were beefing Harlem. For a fairly newly established gang, Harlem were really starting to make some noise in the music and on the streets. There's hella videos on YouTube of Harlem members attacking 410 members on CCTV and cameras. Shortly after the release of Lowski's diss track,
So
Hazards,
I'm guessing that chicken shop one year where it was Mizzo Mac and like some other brother, the guy's boxing man up like his name's Deontay Wilder and them things. I'm guessing that's another one of them then.
2016. He went to jail for possession of a knife, which he got quite a bit of time for. But luckily for him and the group, the other members of Harlem picked up where he left off and started growing the Harlem Spartans name, dropping UK drill classics at the end of 2016 and the start of 2017, like Call Me a Spartan and Kenton Where It Started, which was literally on replay all throughout the UK in 2017, and even got the Canadian rapper Drake co-signing Harlem Spartans and captioning his Snapchats with Harlem lyrics. Quite early on, another Harlem rapper called Jojo was arrested and sentenced to 7 7 years in prison for possession of a knife, a firearm, grievous bodily harm and robbery, which is a real small sentence for all them crimes. And it's a shame because...
Facts, fam. I was thinking like, bro, you getting like, what, a sharp object like a knife and that. Firearms minimum 5. And then like possession 10 and them things there, like that's crazy. How you only getting 7? Like, bro, you must have took a guilty like early, fam. Like they must have get calm early thing. Like they might not have had prints on you or something to prove it's really yours, but because if you got like fight like rounds and that as well, it's a year 1 plus for each one. So it's like, fam, you got away with it. You really got away with it.
Grievous bodily harm and robbery,
crazy.
which is a real small sentence for all them crimes. And it's a shame because JoJo had a real potential to blow up in the drill scene. But on the other side of the pond, their ops 410 in Brixton were also killing the music game in 2017. Especially their Mad About Bars, which is on nearly 30 million views. And both 410 and Harlem were at the top of the game in 2017 and would even often sneak diss each other in hit songs. But despite Harlem Spartans really taking off in 2017, 2017 was also their start of their downfall. After the Call Me a Spartan video was released, Harlem rapper TG Million got into a high-speed chase with one of his ops. When catching up, he stabbed him, causing grievous bodily harm, and he was eventually found guilty and sentenced to 12 years. This left the rappers Miz or Mac, Blanco and Biz to hold it down for the grief, while the rest were inside.
Man, like TG Million, isn't he meant to be out soon, if not out already? I'm pretty sure he's meant to be out soon, like he done 10 do half or something like that, but I kept seeing this guy was going to come out soon. I don't know if it's true. Let me know down below.
This left the rappers Miz or Mac, Blanco and Biz to hold it down for the grief, while the rest were inside. But that was no issue, with Miz or Mac being probably one of the best drill artists the UK has ever seen, and Blanco and Biz having their own unique style that fans love, with the 3 dropping some classics like 21st Century Spartans, Ken Lizzy and No Hook. But there was one issue. Fans started to notice that Miz or Mac and Blanco wasn't in the No Hook music video, despite it being their own song. Well, not too long before the video, Blanco and Miz or Mac actually got arrested themselves, while riding on their ox with a samurai sword.
Man like Blanco, yeah? My guy goes...
Blanco and Mr. Mac
Man's got his braids half out. That's how I know he was doing his hair, fam. He must have been doing his hair when they raided it or something, because man's got braids opened and that, and it's like, bro, like they let you in there. They violated. If he was in the barbershop or something, they really violated. Them feds, yeah, they knew what they were doing.
They got arrested themselves while riding on their ox with a gun and samurai sword in February 2017. It was 1 o'clock in the morning and both were in the back of a cab in Camberwell, South London, looking for ops, when their cab got pulled over and they were caught with a gun and samurai sword. Miz or Mac got 6 years and Blanco got 3 years. And it was starting to come clear that Harlem's beef with opposite areas started to take over their music. And Harlem started to become very heavily monitored by police, which just made everything hot for them, because they were really putting in some work on the streets. Then in June of 2017, Harlem's original main rapper Lowski was released from jail and wasted no time releasing his first tune, Teddy Bruckshot, which was an instant hit, dropping other bangers like Money and Beef, Call Me Loose and his Tim Westwood freestyle. And also at the end of 2017, dropping another song with a rapper called Mayski, called Mummy's Kitchen, which was a very rude song to their ops. Mayski is from a gang called Moscow 17, which is allied with Harlem, and their main beef was with a gang called Zone 2 located in Peckham, southeast London, which is also a very hot beef, which I won't go into too much in this video because I might make a separate video on this in the future. But throughout the Mummy's Kitchen song, they dissed dead ops and different street situations. It started to seem like Harlem was making a comeback though, with Lowski growing massively and younger Harlem members starting to jump on drill, like On Drills and LM, and they were also starting to rack up views as well. So 2018 was looking like a good bounce back from Harlem. But then on May 5th, 2018, a car pulled up to Moscow 17's block, the gang which was affiliated with Harlem, which I mentioned earlier, while a 17-year-old rapper called GB from Moscow was playing football with another member called Incognito on their block. GB was shot and killed, but the gang who killed GB was actually trying to kill Incognito after Incognito beat a murder case of an affiliated member. And this murder is actually still unsolved, so I'm not going to speculate who killed GB, because I only talk about situations which have actually already been prosecuted for.
That's facts, fam. A lot of people will chat on a situation that hasn't been prosecuted, but I can't lie, yeah, at this point, yeah, with that situation, yeah, is it even you're chatting on a case? Cause the amount of man from certain sets, yeah, like Zone 2 and that are almost borderline confessing in like tunes and yeah, is mad. Like the disrespect GB gets, yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, fam, I think he's one of the most, you know what, I'll be real, he's top 3. He is top 3. I can't think of someone else that gets more disrespected. You got T-Wiz, it's ridiculous because some sets didn't even know the guy and they're dissing him. You got Lamps, which this guy was just a menace to North London, yeah. So obviously I get like what was going on with his thing, Bearman just dissing him. And then you got GB, which down south I think he's like one of the most dissed people, truthfully, if I'm thinking about it. Let me know someone else, but I think them 3, GB only really Zone 2, but it's the level, the amount of man rapping that mention him is ridiculous. Like he's mentioned all the time. Just let them rest, innit?
I'm not gonna speculate who killed GB because I only talk about situations which have actually already been prosecuted for. The death of GB made South London very, very hot at the time, with both sides riding out heavily during the whole summer, and both sides taking many snaps on each other's block and dissing each other.
Cheeky snaps.
Was that attempted or was it the murder?
Come outside, man. Come outside, man. Come outside.
Very much.
Man.
Wish a nigga would. And 2 months after GB's death, unfortunately the beef was stepped up to another level. Rapper SA from Harlem was riding on his ops block on the back of a moped, loaded with a gun looking for his ops. When he spotted some ops in the car, he got close and aimed his gun, but his gun jammed and he was stabbed 5 times. SA and his other accomplice drove away after SA was stabbed, but after a half of a mile of riding away, the other accomplice pushed SA off the ped and shouted to the public to take him to hospital, more than likely to save himself from being wrapped up in the situation. The member who pushed SA off the ped was actually from Harlem's affiliated gang called Moscow 17. And of course, Harlem was not happy about one of their members pushing SA off the ped and leaving him to die. So both gangs started to go back and forth, which caused a big divide between them. But
I can't lie, yeah, that's a bit techie. Like, I'll be real. Man's got the lawyer sec in the building and that. But I have to be real, yeah. That's a sticky one, car. Truthfully, yeah, if my man got bagged, say SA managed to blam, yeah, and then my man got bagged, yeah, like, you wouldn't expect him to speak, right? So, on SA. So, likewise, you can't, like, if he's gonna get, like, because he can really get lifed off, innit? Like, he can get, like, a conspiracy and all them things there. It's a techie one. But at the same time, if you're linked up, you should do everything you can to save someone, like, your brethren's life, innit? Especially when you went with him with the intention to do something. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been there as well. Like, it would have been someone else having to do it. So, that's a techie one. I can't lie. That's a tough one, man. Rest in peace, lads, bro, because that's crazy. I don't know how I handle that situation. Both sides are genuine though. They have genuine reasons, to be honest. It's crazy. What's going on with this key?
Less than 2 weeks after SA's death, Moscow 17's leader was also stabbed to death on the same street where GB was killed. And Incognito was even one of the only Moscow members left that Harlem was still cool with at the time. But after these recent L's, Harlem were riding a lot and were going on an absolute rampage. But at the same time, Harlem Spartans were being monitored by the police heavily. Harlem rapper G Smarko rid on his ops block for revenge and shot a rival and was sentenced to 21 years in prison. Another Harlem rapper Scratcher and GG were riding out on their ops with a gun and were caught, then were sentenced to 15 years combined. And another member of Harlem, Juke.
Metropolitan, yo, CPS is not playing. Crown Prosecution Service is not playing. Them man are not playing. Yo, 21, slap that. 15, 16, slap that. It's calm, they don't care. No seconds, bro. How is everyone getting minimum 15? Like, that's crazy. CPS did not come to play, fam. They came to make a statement with that. That's tough. I can't lie. There's a lot of men gone. That's their life gone.
To 21 years in prison. Another Harlem rapper Scratcher and GG were riding out on their ops with a gun and were caught, then were sentenced to 15 years combined. And another member of Harlem, Jug, was jailed for 10 years after stabbing a man in the head, leaving permanent brain damage. And member T-Trap, another member of Harlem Spartans, was jailed for 21 years after murdering a man who disrespected one of his friends. So as I said before, Harlem were just going on a rampage after losing their friends, and clearly started to focus more on their beef than the music. But Lowski was still holding it down for the group musically, still getting millions of views on his songs. But in 2019, it seemed like the roads were getting the best of him again, when he was arrested in his cab while he had a firearm on him, leaving the Harlem rapper Biz to be the only free rapper of Harlem Spartans still out. But when Biz was going home after his last music video called Beretta at the end of 2019, he started to get into an argument with some people on the phone, which he then arranged to meet after the argument. When he met the guys he was arguing with, he attempted to swing a mallet at the guys, but dropped it and was set upon and stabbed to death, right after filming one of his best music videos, which is now on 2.1 million views, leaving the gang pretty much all wiped out. Quite a few members of the gang also got time for drug offences, like Old Boy, who was caught when officers spotted people in a queue outside of his trap house, and was sentenced to 2 years and 8 months for possession with intent to supply. And Snow, who was caught in Wales, running a county line drug operation, and was sentenced to 4 years. And Hector, who was caught drug trafficking, and was sentenced to 4 years as well. Both rappers, Miz and Mac and Lowski, have both been released from jail since, and teamed up and made a song called On Me that went viral, and it seemed like the gang might have been revived, especially after the rapper Blanco was also freed. But since then, Mac and Lowski have both been sent back to jail and are currently there right now. And this is the end to a sad story of a group who were on top but allowed the streets to consume what they had, which I really hope is a wake-up call to a lot of people that the streets really cannot lead to anywhere but death or prison. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been your boy Kid Nerd, and peace out.
I don't know what's this? This is just little painting thing and them things there. Little DIY, little art attack. I will leave that there. Yeah, I can't lie. Big up, Kid. Yeah, I can't lie. This thing here was actually mad interesting. Like, the fact that I didn't even pause it that often, it says that, yeah, it was sick. Like, on a music thing, pausing often is different. That's a wavy thing. But when I'm really trying to watch something and take it in, yeah, like, fam, I had no need to pause. This guy explained it all perfectly and them things there. Like, it was mad. Fam, this is proper good, you know. I gotta give this one my favourite sort of reaction I've done, where it's a sort of information documentary thing. So, yeah, big yourself up, man, because that was cold, fam. But the story, tragic, man. It's tragic. Mac, I'm guessing now, he's looking like he's done, to be honest. Like, it looks like he's done. I'm pretty sure he's looking at like an AM or something like that. So if that's the case, and that's what it comes down to, I'm thinking the way CPS been moving with Harlem in general, they would love to bird off Mac. So he might get 15 as well. So really, Lowski and Blanco, yeah, it's tragic, man, fam. We're seeing this more as well, certain sets as well. So, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just happening all over the place. Like at Newham as well, with like 6 and 7, man. They're taking Diz, Twins, CB. Everyone's getting grabbed in that. They want to laugh off everyone. They want to violate. So that's how it is right now, man. It's tragic. But yeah, if you enjoyed that video, let me know down below. If you want more videos like this, make sure you drop them down below in the comment section as well. Make sure you like, comment, share, follow my socials, Twitter, Insta, Snapchat in the description box and on my channel page. Let's get it Insta to 1K by the end of the year. Other than that, and most of all, smash that red subscribe button and hit the post notification bell as well. I want to see 10K by the end of the year. Let's go. Without further ado though, it's your boy Sex, the Set Pack, and I'm out. Sure.